Node.js? Interesting to ah. Bro, marunong ka ba mag-Node.js? Turuan mo
Yan,
naman ako
namatay
dito.
tuloy.
Ano ba yung Node.js na yan? Hindi ko alam yan. Search mo na yung Hack TV. Naglalaro yung tao. Sungit mo naman. Nagtatanong lang eh. Ma-search na nga na yung Hack TV na yan. Hi guys! Welcome back to Hack TV. So today, magsisimula ako ng series of video discussing Node.js. For this particular video, i-discuss ko kung ano at para saan si Node.js. Papakita ko rin sa inyo kung paano siya i-set up on your machine and gagawa tayo ng first application or program that will run on Node.js. But before that, please click the subscribe button and hit nyo na rin yung notification bell para ma-update din kayo sa future videos ng channel na to. So let's start! Node.js or Node is an open source JavaScript runtime environment that we can use to execute our JavaScript code outside of a browser. We can use it on different platforms like Windows, Mac, or Linux operating system. Madalas gamitin siya sa backend service or API, meaning the application programming interfaces, which is a service that powers our client application. One of the important features of Node.js is that it uses a synchronous architecture that is non-blocking. On handle requests, it maximizes a single thread and an event queue for processing the response. For example, we have two requests. The first request will get processed by the thread, and while it is still being served on the backend, the second request can now also start processing on that same thread without waiting for the response of the previous request. The event queue will continuously run on the background, checking for the response. Once it receives the response, it will initiate a callback, signaling the end of a request. With this architecture, Node.js is highly recommended to use on input-output bound applications, data streaming applications, data-intensive real-time applications, and single-page applications. It is not advisable to use on CPU-intensive applications. Now let's go to our machine and start setting up our Node.js environment. Before we actually begin on installing Node.js, let's go to our command line interface first. If you are using Windows, like me, open your command prompt. And if you are in Mac or Linux operating system, you will use your terminal. What are we going to do here is to check kung meron ng Node.js na naka-install on our machine. To do that, just type in the following command and hit the enter button. The command returned the Node.js version installed on my computer. So it means meron ng Node.js na naka-install on my machine. Kung first time mo mag-install ng Node.js, you will end up getting an error like this. The command is not yet recognizable dahil hindi pa naka-install yung Node.js on your computer. Let's now open our browser to start downloading the Node.js. Node.js can be downloaded from their website, which is the nodejs.org. On their homepage, we can see here right away the two versions na pwede natin ma-install. We have the LTS version that stands for long-term support, and we have the current version. So ano ba yung difference ng LTS and current version? Si LTS version is primarily aimed on enterprise and production use because of the longer cycle of its maintenance. The updates being done here is mostly for code fixes and security updates. While the latest version, it contains substantial feature enhancements. It is done here to avoid affecting a stable environment. And once the development cycle is done on the latest version, it will be moved to the next LTS version. To decide on what version you will download, it is indicated here na LTS version yung recommended for most users because of its stability. But if you want to explore more on the new features, you can download the current version. I am going to download the current version because I already have the LTS version installed on my machine, and to show you guys kung paano mag-install ng Node.js on your computer. So to start the download, just click any of the link you want to install. Once the download is done, we can now open the installer. So ito na yung Node.js installation wizard natin. Right now, it is still checking or preparing something on my machine. Once ready, we can now click the next button. We will just accept the terms of use and click next. Dito, makikita natin yung default installation directory. If you want to install it somewhere, pwede mo siyang baguhin dito. And we click next. Dito makikita natin yung mga components na may install on our computer for the Node.js. And we click next. And click next. And we can now start the installation. We will just wait for the installation to be completed. And the installation is now completed. We can finish the installation wizard, and officially, we can now use the Node.js on our machine. I'm back again on my command line interface. Ang gagawin natin dito, I will run again the same command to check the version, to see if our Node.js got updated. So ayan, my version now is 14.5.0, the one we installed earlier. So let's now go to our code editor to write our first application. I open up my Visual Studio Code. Ito yung code editor na ginagamit ko for my web development. I am using this editor because I spent most of my career using Visual Studio IDE, kaya mas familiar and comfortable ako to use their products. And madami din siyang features na tingin ko will speed up my development. You can use any code editor you want like Atom, Sublime, or Notepad++. Kung wala ka pang code editor on your machine, you can just use simple text editor like Notepad. I'll begin here by opening the folder I created earlier as the location for my JavaScript code. On your end, gawa din kayo ng folder on the directory where you want to save and run your JavaScript code. Next, gawa na tayo ng JavaScript file on the folder we created. I will name it as my first node app.js. Once done, automatic na siya mag-open on our editor. Let's now create a simple Hello World application. Let us save the file and we are now done. Pwede na natin i-run and test yung JavaScript code natin. Before Node, the only way you run and test this file is to reference it on an HTML and open a browser to access the HTML page. So medyo madami siyang step just to test your code. With Node.js, we can run this on our command line editor. Maybe you are wondering how Node.js will do that. So to give you a technical overview, Node.js was built using Google Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. So si V8, siya yung responsible on rendering our JavaScript code whenever we are using Google Chrome web browser. So siya rin yung ginagamit ni Node.js to run our code and render sa as an output. Let's go back again to our command line interface to run our code on Node.js. To run the JavaScript code, kailangan muna natin baguhin yung directory and point it on the location where we save our JavaScript file. Once we are on the right directory, we can now run the following node command to run our code. And Node.js executed our code and produces the expected output. There you have it. You officially ran your first JavaScript code on Node.js. So dito ko muna tatapusin yung video na to. I hope you learned something from this and help you jumpstart your learning of Node.js. Kung nagustuhan mo yung video na to, please click the like button. And kung may mga questions kayo, just drop a message on comment section below. So kita-kits ulit tayo on next video para ituloy ang discussion with Node.js. Thank you for watching. Bye!